Yeah, so a lot of news in the Daily Express for you today. Get a copy, all right? So let's move to some positive news now. So we are now joined on set by Anna Lisa Ramnarine. You don't know the name? Well, let me tell you who she is, DJ Anna. DJ Anna is in studio with us this morning. Anna, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much, Marlon, for having me.
Good to see you. So here's what, So Anna has received the Social Media Influencer Individual National Youth Award. But let me tell you what is instructive from what Anna says here. She's dedicating this award to the girls of TNT, and I think that is very, very important, Anna.
Yeah, definitely. You know, for a long time I've been in what would be considered an unconventional career, and for me it's always been important to kind of stress that that is a viable career path, you know, and that you could go into an unconventional career and be successful at it. Especially with young girls, I meet so many of them on a daily basis, and I usually try within my social media brand to keep it as positive as possible, family friendly. And I meet so many little girls and families who talk about how usually, you know, you would think their daughters want to be doctors, lawyers, or what we would consider conventional careers. But now they're excited to be a part of music, the world of social media, and stuff like that. So
yeah. All the little boys and all the little girls want to be doctors and lawyers, you know. So what was it like? Well, first, what inspired you? That's one. And how did you break the news to your parents to tell them, here's what I want to be a DJ, you know?
So it's interesting because I kind of started music being in the background of my life. And it eventually moved to the forefront because my dad, he is a DJ and he's been in sound systems and stuff like that. So I kind of grew up with, I grew up with music on one side, and on the other side, my mom was very academically driven. So for her, everything was school, school, school. So all the way up until I think me being in UE, I literally was DJing on weekends, going to classes during the week, and then flying out on weekends too. And I think somewhere around the time of me finishing UE, I realized, hey, you know what, I'm going to take this to the next level, the next step, and look at this as being a viable career option. Yeah.
But how has that experience been for you? Because it's not the first time that we have seen a female DJ. It's not the first time. We have even seen that from Trinidad and Tobago, and I can't call some names. But I think that you are doing it a bit different, and the reason why it is because of what is happening with social media now.
Yeah.
Right?
I think probably since the early stages of my career, I kind of looked at myself as not just a DJ, but an overall entertainer and entertainment entity. So combining social media, and I guess it was interesting because that's around the time when I guess like things were real popping on Instagram, and everybody was kind of about that whole sphere of social media. So I think I started using that as a tool to market myself, and I kind of looked at it as a whole brand consolidation plan, which was incorporating my social media and visual presence to, of course, my DJ presence. And the interesting thing about it is DJs on a normal basis are known for what you can audibly hear, right?
Yeah.
It's usually about the music alone. So I try to incorporate the visual element and attach the visual element to the music element.
Yeah. So you have over 1 million followers across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an easy feat, you know, Anna.
Yeah, and I mean, I would kind of credit it to consistency. I would say consistency is key for sure, and determination. You kind of have to have an idea of who you are and what you want to put forth into the world, and keep going with that as your plan, you know?
Yeah. So you were born in Canada? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was born in Canada, but grew up my entire life in Trinidad because I came here when I was a kid, when I was a baby.
All right, so that takes me to the other question, because I think that there are so many genres of music out there, and you could have decided, well, here's what, I want to be a pop DJ, I want to be a rock DJ, you know. But you decided, well, here's what. You see me? I'm going to push this soca and chutney music to a global audience.
Yeah, and I think the weird thing about it is that a lot of people don't understand what soca and calypso and chutney music does to people around the world. I've experienced it in different markets, from Dubai to India to Japan. People, even when they've never heard about our music, when they listen to it for the first time, they feel a sense of excitement and joy. And for me, from a very young age, I grew up playing music on the road for Carnival on a truck since I was about 8 years old. So it's something that was kind of ingrained within me to love soca music and chutney music and all local music. So I've always, I don't want to say or use the term ambassador, but it's kind of something that I naturally progressed into, which is being an ambassador of soca music, ambassador of our culture, and taking it out into the world and saying, hey guys, this is our music, and if you've never heard it, I'm sure you're gonna love it. And myself and Ultra Simo, who I work with, anytime we go to a new market, it's something that we always try to do, which is introduce them to all Caribbean music. And dancehall, of course, as well.
Yeah, but what has the response been? Has there been any destination that you have gone to, and when you saw the response, you was like, I didn't expect this?
Yeah, I think most of the times, 99.9% of the times, it's always positive feedback that I get when people hear soca, especially power soca, because the energy is undeniable in power soca. So even if they don't know exactly what we're talking about, because our music is so carnival oriented, you know, our lyrical content for most of our songs speak about the Savannah stage, or we talk about being on the road. Those are things that on a typical basis they don't understand the context of. But just the vibe, the melody, the energy of it, I think takes it to that level where they're able to love it and appreciate it no matter what.
Yeah.
You know?
So we have seen you, for those of you who follow Anna, you could see her on social media, and she's always dancing and looking very happy. So the next question is, Anna, you're going to try your voice at singing soca anytime soon?
Well, interestingly enough, well, you probably got the first sneak peek of it, but I have a song that I collaborated with Ravi Beyond, and we just shot the music video for it. My vocals are on it in an interesting way, so you'll hear that coming out for Carnival.
So it's a chutney soca or soca?
It's more of a soca song, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Anna, this is breaking news that you've given us here this morning.
Yeah, you got the first insight into it. So
what's the name of the song?
Cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
All right. Your cousin. All right. But you know, let's get back to something that I think is a bit profound here, where you're saying my platforms are a space where I actively combat racism and promote racial unity, striving to foster a more inclusive world. All right? And I think that again, it's very instructive, because I think that people in entertainment, that they sometimes try to stay away from issues that could be controversial.
Agreed.
Always thinking, how is this going to impact on my brand? And how is this going to impact on business? So what are some of the social issues that you hold close to your heart, or that you have strong views on?
And something you mentioned about, you know, I guess the entertainment industry is a place where you legitimately have those concerns, for sure, because you know how people online could be.
Yeah.
So sometimes people don't necessarily like to speak up about things that are important or close to them. I've always tried on my platforms, especially during the pandemic. For example, myself and Ultra Simo, we did a product called Friday Night Live, which was like a free online party that we did every Friday night. And in that, we played all types of music, of course, but we had so many different types of families from all across the world who would join in, and they would just have fun together, all ages, all demographics. And something that we always push on that platform is us saying no to racism, promoting cultural diversity, and stuff like that, you know. And I think it's really important for us when we have a space or a platform for us to talk about those things, because we are the ones who have to do it. And I think especially now, us being the youth of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, is really, really important for us to use our space in that way, you know. Yeah.
It's no secret that this has, in the main, been a male-dominated industry. How was the response when you initially got into the industry, and how has it been, that experience, and what is it like now? Is it that, well, I don't want to say you were not accepted, but I think that maybe some of the males were looking and saying, where's this girl coming from? You know,
yeah.
It surprised them a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think you have been accepted now, eh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you said before, I haven't been the first. I'm not the first. And I give kudos to all of those amazing women who were in this field before me, who still are in this field, and they paved the way for people like me, right? And I think, obviously, any male-dominated industry that you're in, you're going to get those eyes looking at you. You're going to get the skepticism where people are, especially when you come in and you're trying to be fabulous, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't necessarily take you seriously at first. So you have to be able to back up what your presence is like, you know. And for me, it's always been very important that I had that part of my career solid, so that every time I step into a space, I'm able to not just be myself, which is this person who likes to be glam and dressed up, but also be this person who could really excel at what they're doing. And it's been that way for me. So I've worked really hard over the years to, you know, have that balance. And in turn, even like with bringing it back to this National Youth Award, kind of showing young girls out there that, hey, you could be exactly who you are as an individual and put that out into the world, but still be really good at the job that you're doing, you know. Yeah,
it's really about the skill, right, Anna?
It really is. And I mean, also in today's world, the interesting thing is your brand is so important. So it is about the skill, but I would say, interestingly enough, it's about being able to have the skill, have that down packed, but then also working on the brand development aspect of it and combining that for your overall career success, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's very important, because people who are so, so involved in social media and putting out things every day on social media, I think that sometimes they could get emotional and say things and do things. And as the person said on social media recently, you have to be mindful and you have to be demure, right?
Cutesy.
Well, so you have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, social media, no matter what, it could be a positive space, but it also is a very volatile space. And you also have to understand that whatever you put out into the world, and I always tell this to kids too, whatever you put out into the world on social media is there forever. So it is never going to be gone. Somebody's going to screen record it. Somebody is going to take a screenshot of that, and for the rest of your life, that could follow you around. So it's really important that in the heat of the moment, or when you're feeling emotional about something, you don't automatically speak about it. Don't get me wrong, authenticity is key. So for sure, you have to remain authentic to who you are in the social media space. But at the same time, I don't think that if you're upset, you should go voice it immediately. Probably spend a couple of minutes, think about it, think about what you want to put out into the world, because it's going to be there forever.
Yeah, be mindful, everybody. Anna, we failed to show the award.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to touch it because I don't want to break anything.
I've been very afraid of breaking it also.
Studio, could we just take down the bar so that people can see it?
Oh, there we go.
That's the award.
Yeah.
So how has that, after receiving the award, how has that response been to you after receiving that award? Anything different?
I think it's been great feedback overall, and I think just for what it represents for me, and I think the people in my overall social media community, you know, similar to what I was saying before about me being in an unconventional career, it is a representation to those out there that you could have a successful life and a successful career in something that people would consider unconventional. So I think that's really what the positive feedback has kind of been about, you know. Yeah.
All right. So, Anna, DJ, Soca artist. Yeah?
Not yet.
They're not new. You're in safe hands, right? So what's next for you? And of course, we are already into the carnival season. Of course, I believe it's on the weekend. In the next few days, we are going to have Miami Carnival, if the weather holds up.
The weather holds
up. And I believe that we do have a Tobago Carnival. And then it's full-blown into Trinidad Carnival.
Yes, for sure. I mean, in the Caribbean diaspora, there's always a carnival happening. Right. But coming up next, interestingly enough, my flight got canceled to go to Orlando. So I'm going to Orlando tomorrow. And then after that, I'm doing, of course, Tobago Carnival. I'll be there for a couple events. And I'm in the current process of the plan-out stages and the execution stages of my Juve band in San Fernando, Glam Jam Juve. So it's going to be our third year on the road, so I'm looking forward to that. And actually on November 9th, we're doing an appreciation event called Grazie, so I'm looking forward to that as well. And then, going into everything that's preparing us for Trinidad Carnival 2025.
Yeah, and I listening to you and I getting tired, you know. It's a lot. But, you know, that's a good question because I think that sometimes people are going to see you on social media and see the glam, but they do not understand the hard work that goes into it, right?
Yeah, I was having that conversation with somebody recently and I was saying, you know, obviously some things that you put out on social media could be curated to an extent with the authenticity being there still. But despite all of that, people are unaware sometimes of just how much hard work has to go into what you do to get the results that you want. And I always use the word consistency, and I would tell people out there, don't take it lightly, because you have to remain consistent at what you're doing in any field just for you to get that level of success that you want to achieve. And it's a lot of hard work. I mean, for me, I've had to sacrifice a lot in terms of, like, sometimes I don't get to see my family as much, and over the years it's been that way. From traveling, being on tour all the time, being gone for extended periods of time, it could be very difficult, you know. But at the same time, it's part of what you want to do, which is making sacrifices. And you have to sacrifice in any career that you're in if you really want to be successful.
Yeah. Anna, anything else you'd like to tell the young girls who may be looking at us this morning?
Well, I think I kind of spoke about most of it, especially with the aspect of consistency and not being afraid to step into a space that you may think you're not welcomed in. I think that's something really important. You could jump in and be anywhere that you want to be. Once it's something that you're passionate about and that you love, go forth.
Yeah. Anna, it was a pleasure speaking with you this morning. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Anna, you see, when you and Ravi bust that song, you're going to have to come back on the morning edition and perform it.
We're coming back here for sure.
Yeah. So
Thank
Anna,
you so much.
Yeah, bye for now. And as you said, you're heading into Miami.
Well, Orlando, actually. I'm going to first,
so yeah, be safe out there.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, so we are going to a very short break. We're coming back.